Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The tension in the Brown family had always simmered beneath the surface, but no one, not even veteran Sister Wives fans, could have expected the explosion that erupted when Sukyan, Janelle Brown's longtime confidant and intimate friend, first met Robyn Brown. What transpired that day not only left Janelle stunned, but it also revealed the last layer of deception around the so-called innocent Robyn. For years, spectators speculated about the true interaction between the women, particularly as the gaps in the family's cohesiveness widened with each passing season. But this wasn't simply another disagreement about Coyote Pass, money, or Kody's preference. This was personal. Deeply personal. Sukyan, who was renowned for being extremely loyal to Janelle and for staying mostly behind the scenes, had remained silent for years as the drama unfolded around the Browns. She watched as Janelle was repeatedly pushed aside, neglected, and insulted as Robyn moved closer to Kody's side, until it became painfully evident that Robyn was no longer just a wife, but the queen bee of a crumbling colony. Sukyan's confrontation with Robyn was prompted not by cameras, contracts, or reality TV, but by raw emotion and years of pent-up resentment. According to multiple eyewitnesses and family insiders, the incident occurred during a contentious family meeting intended to clarify the split of the Coyote Pass territory. Robyn arrived late, wearing her distinctive pout and claiming she had been left out of the loop, a common story. However, Sukyan, who had been there to support Janelle throughout the ordeal, was no longer ready to play along. She stepped up, crossed her arms, and unleashed a storm that no one anticipated. "Robyn, you constantly behave like a victim. But you aren't. You have never been. You manipulate circumstances, twist talks, and then cry when people confront you. You have turned this family upside down." Robyn was taken aback by the passion and honesty with which Sukyan delivered her words. Janelle, wide-eyed and breathless, remained silent. This wasn't the perfectly polished reality TV drama they'd become accustomed to, this was genuine. It made a deep cut. What made it even more stunning was how Sukyan brought out examples, incident by incident, of how Robyn had gaslit the other spouses, how she had played on Kody's ego, and how she weaponized her emotions to seek sympathy. She even brought up the infamous loyalty speech Kody delivered, which was definitely influenced by Robyn. "You didn't just let this happen," Sukyan alleged. "You engineered it. You wanted the others to leave so you could spend time with him alone. You did not build this family. You burned it down." The atmosphere was dense with tension. Even Mary, who had grown estranged from everyone, appeared stunned. Christine, while not being physically present, was believed to have learned about the confrontation within hours and apparently sent Sukyan a private note of gratitude. Janelle, who had spent more than 3 decades attempting to maintain peace and diplomacy, couldn't find the words. Her customary placid demeanor was shattered as she witnessed, possibly for the first time, someone defending her without filter, fear, or a production staff to soften the blow. Robyn attempted to reply, but her typical tactics failed. There were no cameras to guide the edit, and no confessionals to recast the story. She stood there, her gaze darting across the room, aware that her carefully constructed image was collapsing. The silence of Kody, who was supposedly in another room during the altercation and declined to intervene, said loudly. Janelle's quiet was neither acceptance nor rejection, it was a deep period of thinking. For decades, she had withheld her ideas, played the long game, and avoided public criticism of Robyn even when it was justified. But hearing Sukyan's words out loud, which Janelle had murmured to herself in private, in notebooks, and during sleepless nights, was a relief. It was as if someone had pulled back the veil on Robyn's mental abuse and manipulation of not only Janelle, but the entire family. When word of the altercation spread online, fans went crazy. Reddit threads erupted with speculation. Who is Sukyan? Did Janelle finally snap? Is this the end of Robyn's reign? Sukyan received widespread appreciation on social media, with some referring to her as the hero the Browns never knew they needed. Hashtags like #RobynExposed, #Justice for Janelle, and #SukyanSpeaks became popular overnight. It became one of the most talked about moments in the show's off-screen history, with TLC executives reportedly scrambling to obtain footage or remarks for inclusion in the next season. However, Sukyan refused to play in the spotlight. She did not seek fame or attention. According to close insiders, she did it for one reason only: she couldn't take watching Janelle be bulldozed any longer. This wasn't about Robyn's tears or Kody's justifications, it was about the emotional damage that had been done in the name of spiritual unity. Robyn apparently went even farther into solitude following the incident. She said she was being bullied, a term fans have heard before and is frequently used when things don't go her way. But this time, sympathy was in scant supply. Even longtime Robyn supporters began to wonder if they had been fooled by her years of emotive performances. Janelle, on the other hand, discovered herself in strange territory. For the first time in years, she did not feel isolated. She didn't have to battle quietly or take the responsibility for the family's problems. Sukyan had given her voice authority, and the fallout from the argument spread like wildfire among the fandom and the family itself. Longtime viewers began revisiting earlier programs, rewatching events with additional perspective, and noting how frequently Robyn used double meanings or cried to divert attention. Sukyan had broken down the veil, and the world saw clearly. What was perhaps most telling was that Robyn never apologized, either publicly or personally. According to family sources, she attempted to contact Janelle after the incident, but Janelle allegedly responded with a single sentence: "I heard everything I needed to hear that day." That remark, purportedly sent by text message, was the final nail in the coffin. It signaled to the world that Janelle was done attempting to maintain the illusion, done shielding Robyn's sentiments at the expense of her own truth. It was a mic-drop moment for a woman who had maintained calm through years of turmoil. Fans are demanding more. They want Sukyan to participate on the show, do interviews, and write a memoir, and while she has so far resisted, her name has become legendary in Sister Wives lore. Some predict that the fight set off a chain reaction that could mean the end of Robyn's story in the series. TLC, while keeping quiet, is apparently re-editing footage for the upcoming season to handle the backlash, maybe incorporating never-before-seen behind-the-scenes animosity between Robyn and the other spouses. As for Janelle, she has made progress. Stronger, more confident, and no longer scared to express emotion. She started using social media in more strong and assertive ways, tweeting cryptic phrases about loyalty, family, and standing up for yourself. She hasn't spoken explicitly about Sukyan or the confrontation, but she hasn't had to. Her silence is no longer acquiescence, it is strength. And in that silence, Sukyan's comments reverberate through the Brown household like a shockwave. Robyn is not innocent. And now everyone knows. In the days following the incident, ripple effects spread quickly through every aspect of the Brown family dynamic, both on and off screen. Sukyan's courageous stand was more than simply a one-time explosion. It triggered an emotional earthquake that shattered the entire foundation of Robyn's illusion, which she had carefully preserved for over a decade. Behind the scenes, conversations began to shift. According to insiders, even producers, who had for years crafted Robyn's image as misunderstood, too sensitive, or simply trying her best, began to wonder if they, too, had been duped. Internally, personnel reportedly began scrutinizing archives video, including past interviews and unaired confessionals, to evaluate how much of Robyn's account had been taken at face value and how much had been edited with bias.